let's start this all right.
You did not start it out all right.
That's all, folks.
It's awesome.
All right, let's start this off right. Thank you for watching this video. That's Terry. I'm Chris. This is 54 Nights. So in the world of RV camping, there's like a multitude, or a multitude is a plethora. Anyway, there's a lot of discount programs. KOA memberships, Good Sam's Club, Passport America, Boondockers Welcome, Harvest Host. There's a couple of more that aren't coming to mind, but these are ones that you've likely noticed. Today, we're going to talk about Thousand Trails. Now, the overall flavor of this video has changed a bit due to a significant change at Thousand Trails. Mm-hmm. But I think our first year experience can help with any decision you want to make on it. So with Thousand Trails, you can purchase the annual camping pass, you know, with the menu of add-ons like the Trails collection for another $450, an additional camping pass for $125, whatever. Or as of March 2025, you can purchase a 2-year or a 4-year plan. From what I've seen, Thousand Trails has discontinued the sale of the lifetime memberships, which is what we have. You can still purchase the lifetime memberships on the secondhand market. With all that out of the way, let's talk about Thousand Trails. In the last couple of years before I retired last year, I'd been eyeballing Thousand Trails as an option. For reasons I'll discuss later, I didn't feel it was worth the money before I retired. In January of 2024, I retired, so part of our retirement plan was to buy a Thousand Trails membership. So at the Dallas RV show, we purchased an Elite Connections membership.
Kind of fun. We went up to them and just acted like we were interested and got the whole spiel, and then how much cheaper it would be right then. And then we got to surprise them by saying, oh yeah, okay, we'll get one.
Yeah, and like most timeshare, the people don't like to call this a timeshare, but essentially it's a timeshare.
Yeah.
Here, everyone knows a timeshare is a gateway property.
And like most of them, you can purchase memberships on the secondhand market, typically at half the price of new.
The only downfall is you can't pass that on.
Right. And we chose to purchase direct, a brand new membership, and that just gives us an opportunity to resell it at some point when we're done with traveling. We don't have a use for it, we can resell it. I mean, why did we pick Elite Connections? As opposed to buying an annual pass or whatever, with the full membership, we have access to all 5 zones without having to purchase additional zones.
That's how we travel.
Yeah.
We're kind of everywhere.
So, and there's no requirement for us to stay out of network after a set number of days. We can stay at one Thousand Trails park for up to 21 days straight and then move to another park with no restrictions. And we were also buying into the whole, campgrounds are packed, you must reserve early, narrative that has been going around for the past, since COVID. And the Elite Connections memberships allows us to reserve 180 days in advance. So what is that, 6 months?
Okay. I'm not mathing right now. It's too early in the morning.
And we also added in the Trails collection, which adds about 120-ish campgrounds. I have to say ish, for 2 reasons, because I'm too lazy to count, and Thousand Trails just likes to leave some things a little vague.
Well, that is a little vague.
After a year of being members in Thousand Trails, what do we have? Although we purchased membership at the end of February of 2024, we didn't actually put it into use until June. With that being said, the first 12 months of our membership, we stayed at a Thousand Trails park for 50 nights. in 2 different regions, 7 different campgrounds, 4 in Florida, 2 in Texas, 1 in Colorado. We didn't have any issues at any of these campgrounds.
No, and there were 2 different kinds. There were the Elite and the
The Encore.
The Encore.
The Encore Park we stayed at
Yep.
Key West. Disregard what we paid for the membership for a moment. Our out-of-pocket expenses for those 50 nights was $135. And that was because of a 6-night stay at an Encore Park in the Florida Keys. You have the Encore Parks, you usually, you have to pay a little bit. We think we paid like $20 a night plus tax, whatever. If we consider how much these same campgrounds would have cost us without a membership, we saved, and the word saved is in prominent air quotes, considering the substantial amount of money we paid up front. But we saved $3,434. Keeping that in mind, add in our annual dues, we will be turning the corner into actual, like, staying for free in 2027. So 3 years after purchase. That's if we continue to stay 50 nights a year in the system. We'll be staying a lot more. Already our road trip this summer, I already have 50 nights in Thousand Trails, and we haven't even made it home yet. So I'm sure you've heard about the condition of many of Thousand Trails parks. We haven't really had any issues. Yes, the ones we have stayed at wouldn't be considered resorts. They're comparable to a lot of the KOAs we've stayed at over the years. And for the most part, they're a lot closer to a state park type experience. And really, all but one of them had more amenities at it than any other campground we stayed at, like a KOA or what have you. In that regard, maybe they could be considered resorts. They're not the prettiest, fanciest looking places, but they've got a lot of things to do, a lot of amenities.
Resort means a lot less than it used to anyway.
You are correct. Yes. So we haven't stayed at one we wouldn't return to. Keep in mind we do a lot of research before we go to these places, and there have been a couple that I was like, no, we're never staying there. But for us, the purchase of the full membership has proven to be worth it. Even if we sell the membership even if we were to sell the membership next year, because we're going to use it this year, but even if we were to sell it next year, we would still come out ahead. So, the question really, the reason you're watching this video, is it worth it to you? First of all, the information you get on the website, it's targeted to purchasing the annual camping passes. Information on other memberships, come with talking to a rep. Sounds like a timeshare. Sorry.
Annual dues?
Yeah. Or getting the secondhand knowledge through other channels, like 54 Nights. Sorry. So let's talk about the camping pass for just a moment. The Thousand Trails location, on the website, the locations it shows on the website's map, can be just a little misleading. This map shows the locations that are included with your camping pass. However, it also shows campgrounds that are part of the Trails collection, which cost you an additional $450. If you pull the Trails collections locations off the map, you're left with a very different picture. With the camping pass, you can purchase one region, and every time you go there, they're telling you about 30% off sale or whatever. I have yet to visit that website where the camping pass was not on sale. Whether it's a spring sale, a summer sale, a fall sale, or a year-end closeout, whatever. You can typically get the camping pass on sale.
And I think you could even probably ask if there's an additional savings.
Yeah. They're always they're wanting to sell it to you.
They've got a little bit in their pocket they can pull out and say, well, I have 3 of these. Yeah, I'm allowed to give out in my lifetime, and I'll go ahead and give you one of these. Try it.
So with the camping pass, there are some restrictions. You can stay no longer than 14 days straight at a single location. And if you stay at a location for longer than 4 nights, you have to stay out of network for 7 nights before you can go on to your next Thousand Trails park. So if you were wanting to string a bunch of Thousand Trails parks together, you would stay at one for 4 nights and then move to the next one and stay at that one for 4 nights. If you stayed longer than 4 nights, then you'd have to wait a week. Yeah. You purchase that one region, let's say Southeast. You can add other regions for $125 a piece. And you can also add the trails collection that I brought up earlier, $450. I guess the easiest way to figure this out, if it's worth it for you, you would take the average cost of a night stay. And for us in 2024, that average cost would have been $58 a night. You divide that into your total cost. Just a quick example, like the current sale, this is March of 2025. The current sale is $528 for a camping pass. So you divide that by 58, you end up with 9.1. Let's round it up to 10. To break even, you would have to stay at a Thousand Trails location for 10 nights. After that, you're saving money. If you're wanting to stay at, say, Blue Mesa RV Ranch in Colorado, which is roughly $68 a night without a camping pass, you would purchase the Southwest region and you would break even in about 8 nights. And we would highly recommend staying at Blue Mesa, Colorado, by the way. The full memberships offer the advantages of staying up 21 nights at a single location and the ability to go from park to park without having to, stay out of network. When you talk to these folks about buying a membership, you need to be careful. It's like any other sale, be it a car, a timeshare, or warranties on furniture. Things are left unsaid and things are implied.
Mm-hmm. They talk in politician.
Yeah. I mean, we're a year into this membership and there are still questions we have that we're not quite sure of about cabin passes, family, things that we'd have. When we bought it, we didn't know what to ask. Now we know what to ask.
Well, and some of it we did ask, and we actually didn't get an answer. Well, looking back, we
got the circle answer.
Yeah, so I would say if you have questions going into it, write down your questions and don't mark off that question until you're sure you understand the answer. Yeah. I mean, very clearly.
But in the end, focus on the cost. It's really that simple. If you're going to use the membership, we don't think you'll regret the decision. Really don't. Research individual parks you feel like you would be interested in staying.
And see how many parks there are in the area that you want to be in.
And watch video. There are several people that show videos of the parks, and yes, they're likely sponsored. A lot of these folks are, if you look at the video description, you'll find that they're actually sponsored in some way or another, if not by Thousand Trails, but by a secondhand selling agency. But just look at the campgrounds and you can see what is there by watching the videos. And if all that is good for you, if your research tells you this, I like these places, go for it. But when you're given the bottom line, whip out the cell phone, open the calculator, and divide that bottom line by the cost of an average night stay. Like for us, it's $58. I think that's a good number because we said it is. Yeah. Okay. We agree. If you feel like you're going to be staying in the Thousand Trails system for that number of nights, then it may be worth the cost. If it's not, get up, walk away. It's in my mind, it really is that simple. Mm-hmm. You get the bottom line, you divide it by the number, but by the average night stay, and you come up with the number of nights that you would need to stay in Thousand Trails to pay for that membership. And if you don't think you're going to stay that much, then don't buy it. If you think you're going to stay that much and possibly more, then it could be a good deal for you.
We want it to be a good deal for you, but we don't want you to feel like you wasted your money.
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah, 'cause
important.
I don't want to feel like I wasted my money.
Or your money.
I don't care about their money.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hey, we'll catch y'all down the trail.